going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the Survival Create series. We're doing something a little bit different. Not really. We're still back here. Of course we are. I do want to try and get all these buildings and machines and everything built and set up before we actually start doing anything. Before we start adding them to the main world. Just because I want it to be a little bit simpler. I also did change some settings for recording. So if you do notice that, got to work on some new things because everything else decided it wanted to break. So if you do notice a difference on anything, we're working on it slowly. I'm going to stop the machine. If you remember last episode, everything got stuck up front. Everything. I got the idea. Oh, that's actually almost done. We'll get rid of all this. I don't need any of that. And then we'll take that. Something I thought of doing. I could add a shoe here to where everything just drops in and goes. That was going to cause a problem. So what we are going to do, I'm just going to build a secondary shaft point right up here. We will put a belt, and also this is just going off of freehand. I don't remember what I was actually going to do. So nice. So that will be like that. And then we just need, actually this has to go out one so I can put something over here. Man. All right, so if we do that, go over here, click that one. All I got to do is put two little spots here. There we go. And something we can do, if I put this, I need to expand this out by one. Which is still perfectly fine. That's not going to cause a problem. As long as it still has power, we should be good. Really, all I can do is a cogwheel, and that's the same exact thing. Get some casings because I don't want that showing, even though you can still see it. So that will go up. It'll launch up here onto that one. That would then move over, go all the way around, and then we'll have two more pieces that go here and here. And then we'll kind of just drop off onto that. Because then that would just drop, and then that would just drop here. Possibly. That should work, right? Let me just have the power going. Power. Thank you. Pop that. That still goes the correct way. That looks horrible, but oh well. It works wonders. It'll go that way. It's the wrong way. Then I just need, boom. There we go. So that would do that. Those will loop back around. Perfect. And then something we can do. I have so much stuff. Get out of my inventory. I can do another funnel with a backpack. We're probably going to change all these barrels to backpacks also, just because these get full really quick. And honestly, if we have all these full of backpacks, then we don't have to worry about anything up here causing issues. Technically, I wouldn't have to worry about this causing issues if we have backpacks in general, but this will be a little safety backup piece. So we will change all these barrels to backpacks with storage upgrades, and then if it gets clogged or anything like that, these will just run through a whole loop on the system. Nothing to worry. What we're going to do, I'm going to get another backpack. So a diamond one with tier 3 upgrades. All right, so we'll do that. We'll do that and that. So now anything that comes through and gets clogged into this, it's still going to pop in there. If it has a space where it can just drop out and connect wherever it can, it will. So you don't have to worry about that. That will automatically go whenever it needs. Don't need to care about up here as much anymore. I need a backpack again. These are going to be crazy because we're going to need 6 backpacks, which I'll just fill these up with as much as we can. Now, the reason we're doing diamond backpacks, I know we're not ever going to fill these up, but you never know. You absolutely never know. And there we go. We'll just collect all this so it can disappear from my inventory, or here in general. All right, we'll do all that. Everything up here should be fine. There's a lot in that one little section, but that's completely okay. Everything still works. This isn't getting as much as it needs to, just because, well, that's just how it is. That gets shot and goes right into here, which, that's a lot of wood, man. That's a lot of wood. Uh-oh, I made a mistake. All right, there we go. Let me get some casing. We are going to need a lot of this, but I ain't worried about it. All right, all this should be good. Some stuff. Yep, we'll just do all this. We'll just cover all these with casings. Alrighty, there we go. Everything is set with casings now. We're going to need so many of those, but I'm not worried about it. Everything will go through and around, do what it needs to. All that is up there. That's all done, which is perfectly good. And then these only have a few extra little pieces, so nothing too crazy. And then everything back here, I think we have a lot. Alright, so yeah, that would take a little bit. That's not too much. Everything is practically set in here, so we don't really need to worry about anything now, especially with this. This is all pretty well done. Everything works, it functions. We fixed kind of the little issue with it. It's okay. It works, it does what it needs to. All the items come in, they go out to their needed spots. Once they're done with planks, they get launched over here, turn into these, or, well, some will split out, go straight as planks, some will go in here, turn into stairs and slabs. If it's not in the first 3, it will go into the next 3 back here. Then those will turn in go and connect into that. So either way, that's perfectly fine. All we gotta do is just set up the train to a 15-minute timer, I would say. Let's get all this, and then we'll get rid of these rails because we don't need these anymore. All right, so that would be like that. And we're actually just gonna move the train down here just so, the train is on the system and it should auto technically connect it when we build it. So not too much to worry. All right, there we go. Perfect. Let's go ahead and get our train. Let's get a train station too so we're able to set this up correctly. I see we're taking stuff from way over there. I'm going to have to wait for all this wood to get done though. Otherwise, it's going to copy all the wood that's sitting on the system. And I can't have that. Let me just get rid of all this stuff. So whatever's extra is quite literally extra. All right, those are done. All right, that's all good. I'm going to have to clear that out. I'll let these filter out. Well, I'm going to have to take all these. Otherwise, nothing going to work. All right, there we go. That's all done. Nothing in these systems. Don't need to worry about. These we will take because I don't want those preset in the system. All right, there we go. That's all good. Nothing in the system anymore. All right, there we go. Everything is out of the system, so that's perfectly fine. We have to change these to, oh, never mind, we already did. Sorry, I'm a little bit dumb. That's all good though. We are set. Let's go ahead and power off. Take all this from here. All right, there we go. That's good. Let's push this forward a little bit more. Okay, we'll actually set it like this because then we can't do anything. We need to go up a little bit more so that it's in line with the block. There we go. The train station, we will reset this. There we go. That took a minute. That was weird. All right, that's all set. We'll go ahead and stop this. Nothing is connecting onto that. Disassemble. We'll stop that. Cool. Everything is set. So now everything that is on this train or in this little plot will get added. Let's go ahead and get our schematic and quill. We'll copy all this. And obviously stone bricks will be in the ground because I don't want it on the ceiling. All right, that's good. Let's make sure nothing is sitting on the outside. All right, that's pretty good. So that will try and copy everything that it can. Let's go ahead and put as wood processing. That's probably not the right way to spell processing, but I don't care. I'm not worried. Now we just have to work on these trees. I don't know how we're going to do these because I thought this system was going to work pretty well. It did not because it got stuck. That sucks. All right, we're just going to, magically destroy this village real quick. No problems. Poof, gone. Don't worry. Oh no, you're home. Whatever will you do? That's not what I meant. There we go. Animal scatter. Perfect. All right. I forgot to watch Mr. Beardstone's video to see how he did his farm so I could get ideas. That's gonna suck because that's gonna hurt mine. Alrighty. Let's go ahead. We're just gonna put it here and we'll just go that way instead of using that one. You know what? Let me check Mr. Beardstone's video. Let me see how he did his so I can get some ideas. Alright, so I see how he did his. Instead of doing the little layout that we have to where we have, it angled in 3, he just did his in lines. So he did his, he did his oak, his spruce, his birch. He did all that stuff in lines. He even did his jungle trees in a line. The only things he put in 4 are, or 2x2s, whatever, are his dark oak. And then he had mangrove. We're not using mangrove. So the way I can do it, I can have oak, spruce, birch, and acacia all in one line. And then we can have jungle in one line and dark oak in one line. Because, everything will load in one line. Let me just do this real quick so I can show you. Jungle can load in one. It just needs a little more assistance. So if we do this, let's actually turn the tick speed down. And he has a 3-block gap in between these. So it's nothing too crazy. Right, there we go. All right, so that's what, well, I need that. Well, not really, but that's how it will be, except going all the way down. Let me get the magical potion of death. We will just launch nukes. Thank you. So yeah, that is how it would be. It will go all the way down. We'll probably have to go down pretty far. And then that would just do like that. So let's go ahead and change the game rule back up to 20, which I think is standard tick rate, whatever. And make, let's, see, there's one. Let's put it up to 50. I should go a little bit faster. So there's a spruce there. There's acacia. Yep. Spruce is growing. There's a dark oak. Okay. That one's going. So yeah, these are growing. Those are all right next to each other. That's good. Yeah, so that's not too bad. This is how we're going to have to do it. He didn't use a minecart like we are going to use. He uses a gantry system, which I guess is technically better, but we're just going to go with a minecart. Because then technically we can have this to where the minecart's underground. Not too worried about that. So let me get all this. We'll get some grass. All right, let's actually put the game roll back to 0. We'll go ahead and set this up. All right, so here's how we're going to do this. All right, so we're going to do 50 saplings of each one. Now, obviously, dark oak is going to have a lot more. That's just because it's dark oak. It needs 4. So we'll do stone brick, 4 there with a, we'll do a gap. All right, and then we'll just have these go down. All right, there we go. And we'll just have this one go all the way down too. Then we just have to make the machine, which, I mean, we could probably just build in the main world, which technically I could have just built all this in the main world, but oh well. All right, there we go. And that is all right towards the end. Now, obviously, when we have a machine coming through, everything is going to be set on whatever one it needs. So we will change these to stone brick just so it can't do anything. All right, and then on the back side, we will also go out another 4. And this will stop it from basically having all the stuff, you know, feed out farther than what it actually needs. It will just go to what it can. There we go. I'll add these in here just so it doesn't somehow accidentally place, even though it shouldn't be able to, but never know, it might. And then we'll just have these go off 4. All right, there we go. Now we'll just do that, and then we'll go all the way down. Well, I'll do it on this side too, just so it matches. Maybe we're off by 1. Yeah, we are. Let me get rid of this. And there we go. Now it's the exact same. Now, obviously, we don't need that many. So we're going to have a lot of space for houses and workshops, stuff like that. But we'll just do this. We'll get rid of this little section. These little things here. We don't need those. It would be nice, but we don't need them because it makes it look really weird. I don't want to deal with that. There we go. All right, so this will be, we'll have a saw here. Obviously, we're going to have it back off by 1 just so it can, you know, do what it needs to. We're going to do a deployer. I need it to where these can keep saplings. I don't know how I could get it to where it can keep all the saplings. Because if we have too many, it's just going to cause it to where it's going to flood the system and then we're not going to be able to. I mean, I could have it on the back to where when it goes all the way through to break, it can, you know, break everything. And then on its way back, it will be able to, you know, place all the saplings again or whatever it can, come back through, and then it'll unload its stuff on the same side. I'll probably be the best bet. There we go. And there we go. We'll do it this way so all the stuff is on the outside so we're still able to filter everything that we need. There we go. Everything is set exactly how that should be. We will add, we're going to have a lot of barrels just in case. So we'll have a lot of barrels on each of these little sections because then we can just connect them. There we go. So we'll do it like that. So whenever this goes through, we'll try and start placing if it has stuff in it. If it can, it will get to whatever it can. If it can't, we'll go all the way through, mine all the trees, whatever ones are grown, stuff like that. We'll have it set on like a 5-minute timer also, just so that doesn't get crowded every second. And then this will go through. It will start working its way back. And on the way back, that's when the saplings will start deploying out. All of them will go and then until it ends up here. Once it ends back here, all the saplings technically should be placed out, meaning whatever is left can just get thrown away. Pretty good system, hopefully. Do 3 of each on here. We'll just do it that way. Okay, so we'll just have to stop the rails would have to stop like right here just so it can start going back. We're not having the machine rotate. We're just going to have it force itself back. And then we'll have, if I have a fence here or if I have the cart here, then these are going to be up 1. So I would have to make it to where when we go here, if we're right here, we'll be there. So yeah, we'll have to stop the minecart here to where it can go back because then if we're stopped here, everything's going to be there, which means actually we got to stop here. So the drills are there, deployers are here. So yeah, we have to stop one more just so it can still plant all the stuff it needs. That will back up, go all the way through. I'm going to have a portable interface there. Well, we'll have it off by 1. All right, so that should be good. Obviously, we just got to get the pig out of the way, but they'll be all right. They'll be fine. We don't got to worry. I technically could add the rest of the saplings of cherry and then mangrove, which mangrove does kind of look cool. We might be able, need propagules, which I don't know how to get. Wandering trader. Okay, so we'd have to try and figure out how to get that, which so far only says a wandering trader, which isn't too bad. So I might actually want those because the mangrove does kind of look cool. No, it's purple. So we're actually going to have to expand this out a little bit. This one's going to have to be expanded by 4 just because these have to grow in 4s as far as I know of. How do you grow? Oh, you grow like a psychopath. Okay, so do all of these grow on the same level? No, these are all different. Okay, so mangrove isn't really that helpful then. It looks cool, don't get me wrong, but it's not like, yeah, it looks cool, but if we ever want it later on, we can always add it later on. But right now, I'm not too, that seems kind of sporadic for a tree that we can add. So we'll just keep it with how it is. All right, so that'll be like that. And then we'll have it to where the fence would drop here. And we'll just have that drop down. So saw up front, deployer right at the same spot. So if we again go right here, it would stop here. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. So technically this is already set. We just need to make it to where it works, which the only way to really get that to work is by doing everything else. Let me get the saplings real quick so I can get all of this. And we'll set those like that. Perfect. I technically could do a full line of barrels up here at the top, which actually now that I think about it, might be much better. And then if I get stone brick, we'll do it like this. Perfect. All right, so there we go. Everything is set. Deployers are fully good. All we need is a little piece on, well, however side we're doing this, I don't know. I'll put one on the other side too, just in case. I don't know what side we're doing this, and honestly, I'm not worried about it. It'll work either way. We'll just do all this. All right, there we go. Perfect. So now all we got to do is just go down a little bit more. Obviously add some room just so the cart doesn't get stuck, but we are set. And then all we got to do is just add this in. We can probably make like 1 or 2 of these in different spots just so it can go wherever it needs. Because I do have a feeling we're going to have a pretty big chunk of wood that gets added into this. We'll probably need to make it to where these can connect out, because I don't know. We're going to have a lot of wood going through the system, which means all these barrels are probably going to get full very quick. We're going to need a lot. Because if we have this on the left side, then we'll need it to where the cart is going to be underground. That's not going to matter. Or we're going to need it to where this can unload everything correctly, which we can probably have this go back a little bit more to where, like right here, we have another portable storage interface. So when it's moving, it will still take everything out. Well, no, because then that's still going to hit that. Dang it. All right, we'll have to figure that out later on. I'm not worried about that right now. So far, it's small, but I'll be honest, it looks better than that one already. That's not too bad. And then that system is pretty well good. So we have our tree farm, we have our tree wood processor. All we need is the utility area, which we're probably just going to use the same place as that one over there. Make it simple and easy. And then the houses, we're going to make some new houses. We're going to make them have like some wood shop, workshop stuff. So not too bad. And then custom trees, we're just going to use the same custom trees. Pathways, we're going to have to figure that out. I got no clue. But we are going to end today's episode here. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you do want to see some extra content, I do have a second channel in the description. More games, more variety, fun things like that. We also have started streaming on Twitch and Kick. So if you do want to check that out, we stream Monday through Friday at 10:30 in the morning. With that being said though, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye. Piggy bomb.